Hello everyone, welcome back to another lonely video here at Barham Engines once again. So guys, it's Tuesday, probably ain't going to be putting this out till tomorrow, which when you watch it will be now. But Isaac was in this morning, Tuesday morning, but he's gone home again. Felt pretty rough. I think he'd only come in because he felt a bit guilty. But guys, I have got 4 what I call, I shouldn't say crappy jobs, because they're still jobs, but they're a bit crappy jobs. One of which is an exhaust manifold from Devon 4x4. So that's a TD5, the usual warp like buggery to the point where they pull the studs out of the end of the head. What else have I got? I've got a barrel to sort out. Oh, I've had an absolute stormer this morning. Altostart, who does our alternators, they sent an alternator that's still attached to the bracket with the long bolt in it. They couldn't get it out. They rounded the head off the bolt. Of course, it's all enclosed, so you can't get at it. It's seized in there. They've took the head off, but they've basically tried to weld a nut on the top, which has been unsuccessful because the whole thing, you've got a steel bolt about 4 inches in an aluminium body, so that ain't coming out. And where they've welded it on and it's snapped the nut off, they've got a nice big blob of rock hard, almost glass hard weld. So I've had to get that done this morning. Took me about an hour and a half, but anyway, that one's gone. And I've got this one here, guys. So this is another exhaust manifold, and it's on the milling machine, as you can see. We've got 2 studs there which we've got to get out. The customer has removed the other 2 minus the other bit that's in the or the other half that's in the manifold still, so they've snapped off. We've got one of these to get out the end. Anything else? No, I think that's it. So yeah, haven't even tried to get those 2 out yet, but what I'm going to do is just, before I do that, is get these 2 out. Now, most people that send these in, if they sent them in where they hadn't made an attempt, it would be a lot easier, because obviously we've been doing this for years, we know the sort of routine. Most important thing for getting a sheared bolt out is to get that centre drill dead centre. If you don't, if you sort of get it offset, you're asking for trouble. And also, you don't want to break anything in it. But these 2 here, guys, got a bit of everything. So this one, someone's had a go at it, and the pilot drill is right off centre. So that is no good at all, because obviously all that a bigger drill is going to do is want to follow down the existing hole you've put it in, or put in it. And that's going to go through into the manifold and leave so much of a stud left that you're not going to be able to drill it or get it out. What I've had to do, guys, first thing is put a slot drill, centre it up, and basically go past the point. See, I'm almost there now, past the point where that starter drill has gone down to, and then basically start again with my pilot drill. The reason I'm using a slot drill and not an end mill is because a slot drill can mill out anything up to all the way to the centre of the slot drill, whereas an end mill does need a hole down to actually do anything. So otherwise you just wear the tool away. That's where I am with that one. This one over here, guys, which I've already got out, that one was an absolute nightmare. Not only was the pilot drill offset, they'd actually broke the pilot drill halfway down there. So if you ever tried drilling a drill out with a drill, glass hard, ain't gonna do it. So what I've had to do is mill down the side of it and basically chip it out bit by bit. So you can actually chip it out. It sort of breaks away a little bit, then you mill down. It's not a very nice process, but I've done it to the point where I've got all the drill out. Then I've had to centre it up with a slot drill all the way through, and then go down with another slot drill until all the stud's out. And now we've got to the point where the hole's probably too big to put an original stud in, the thread, but we can put a helicoil in there. So I'm just going to continue with this one, guys, and then we can get a nice pilot down here. So you can see a little bit of force on there. You can still see it's cutting, and I can actually feel where it's going over that hole. So when I get to the point where I can't feel that, like about there, that's pretty good, that is, guys. I can stick my pilot drill, my centre drill down there, then another pilot, and then that's hopefully going to be good to get out. Great news. I've got the crankshaft for the V8.
We do.
We do, mate, and you have put half the pistons in and the crank already.
I have.
And that is looking like a brand new Range Rover engine, isn't it?
It is.
The reason for this being balanced at CTM was, 1, because we don't do the V8s yet, and 2, because we bought new pistons. We bored this, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
5, but the pistons were quite a difference in weight compared to the old ones.
Yeah.
On a 4-cylinder, that wouldn't matter, or an inline. You just got to make sure that all the pistons weigh the same. But on a V, it makes a massive difference, doesn't it? Because you've got to take the piston, rod and assembly.
Well, it's all part of the counterweight, isn't it? On a V,
is basically,
on a cross plane.
Yeah. So the customer has been advised to get it balanced, and that's exactly what we've done, mate. But we've got it back, and we can crack on, get it built. Hopefully, by the middle of next week, you reckon?
I'll give it a go.
Ideal.
Should be able to, yeah.
Just crack right on with it.
Yeah.
There was a bit of confusion. The only reason it took a time is because Charlie from CTM was going to send this back with all the other stuff that we've got coming back from there, mate.
Yeah.
But I did ask for it to be sent back on its own. What we've got coming from them is a cylinder head for this, and this is all going to be here today, mind.
So that's the red top Vauxhall.
That's the red top Vauxhall. That's all ready to go, mate. Everything's laid out. I've got my springs organised so I know what seated height they've got to be at. Got new pulleys, faced all the valves and what have you, and cleaned them up. Rocker cover's looking minty, isn't it now?
Yeah.
So literally it's just put the head on, or put the head together, put it on, time it all up, and that's all done. Lovely jubbly.
Did you say it's had porting and all that? And
so it's gone up there for porting, porting, and he's put bronze guides in it,
right,
as opposed to the original cast guides.
We've just got to cut the seats and put it together?
Yeah, just cut the seats, obviously work out the bowl volume and face it to suit. But also, mate, we've made a couple of purchases from Charlie. One of which is, if you notice down there, this is, remember before Christmas we built a 1600, following the build, a Crossflow 1600, following the build on our Mark 1 Escort engine. We thought if we sell that engine that we build, we'll put the money straight into buying throttle bodies for the Mark 1, and that's exactly what we did.
How come that's still here anyway? Just
don't know, he just
not
picked it up. Don't think he's in too much of a hurry.
Fair enough.
And also, he's going to be having all the bits off my Mark 1 Escort to go with this.
Right.
Obviously, that we're changing, like the fuel pump and what have you. Next to it is another Crossflow, but that's a 1300, and that's the engine that come out of our Mark 2 van.
Yeah.
All looked nice and minty under the engine bay, didn't it?
It
and
did.
we were sort of hoping that it was all pretty much done.
Recently
because
done.
It's got new pulleys, or painted pulleys. It's got a new alternator, water pump. All looked a bit nice and painted, but it's obviously been sitting with quite a lot of moisture inside.
Yeah.
And it ain't too good, is it, mate?
No, I think it was all sort of full of rust when we took the head off.
See it in there, look. It ain't looking too good. So what I've purchased off Charlie, and he's done me a cracking deal on a standard 711M 1600 block and crank.
Nice.
And what we're going to be doing is building a 1600 Crossflow engine to sell again.
So
that's another bargain price.
So we can build it to spec, whatever
we're going to
wants,
if no one rings us before we get it built, which is probably going to be in the next 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Then we'll build it to our own spec. But if someone is interested, get in touch quickly, guys, and we'll spec it to whatever you want, really.
Yep.
So now will be the time. So there we go, 1600 Crossflow for sale. And we've made 2 other purchases.
We have.
Yes, a little grin from you there, mate. Bought 2 Subaru Impreza engines, haven't we, off him, that he's had in storage for quite some time. One, I don't know the state. I think it's just like a tall bear engine.
Right.
What it is, I don't know.
Yeah.
The other one is what we're more interested in. I know you're very sceptical of what it is, but Charlie said it's the one that everyone wants. It's the rare block. Yeah. Does that mean that it is like a semi-closed deck sort of thing, like the 207? I don't know. Or does it mean it's the fully blown rare one, early one that you said?
Yeah,
you have your doubts, don't you?
I'm very sceptical that it'd be a proper closed deck one. It might be a semi-closed, like a 207.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah.
But even if it is,
well, either way, they're both be good blocks. But
he's done us a good price on both of them, mate, and that's the one we're interested in, and it's fully dressed, so it's got everything on turbo, the whole shooting match. So in our spare time, if we do get any, we're going to be building that up, or maybe nicking some bits off it for yours.
Well,
so there'll be a Subaru Impreza engine for sale, hopefully. Right, mate, moving on to this Fiat before we go today. This is what the thumbnail and title's about, actually, this little engine here, mate. This is one that all we've got to do is put the pistons, rods and crank in the block. We've rebored it. It's a Fiat What is it?
It's a 124 Spider.
124 Spider. It's a 1400, isn't it? Or just over 1400.
1438, I think.
1438. Customers supplied the bearings. The crank was standard size. You've polished it up, come up all right. He's ordered the bearings. They've sent the right mains, but they sent the wrong big ends. They sent a 1600 big ends,
Yeah.
which are a couple of mil bigger.
And it was a bit confusing when we were trying to work out what this, what it all was.
It almost, we thought originally that it had been ground as a stroker, didn't we?
Yeah.
And they used a smaller bearing.
Well, it's weird because you put in 124 AC, which is what the block says it is.
Yeah.
And it says that the journal, like you say, is like a few
Like
mil bigger.
48.5 or something. It's actually 45.5.
Yeah.
Something weird like
So
that.
it's
But
like,
anyway,
yeah.
I've found out, fortunately, although the original bearings were quite corroded and horrible, I managed to get some numbers off them.
Oh, ideal.
And put those numbers into your Google, and it's come up as they are an original 1438 bearing. So I've ordered a set of big ends, getting it together. Reason I put this as the thumbnail and title, mate, is because although the customer weren't really too bothered, I thought, seeing as we're putting it together, we're obviously going to be checking all the rods and the pistons.
Yeah.
And the con rods differed from the lightest to the heaviest nearly 20 grams.
That's a lot.
That is a lot, mate. That is the equivalent of 2 M10 nuts.
Wow.
And the weird thing is, like we always say, you check these rods visibly and they all look identical, don't they?
Well, yeah.
But it's like having them two welded on there.
It's weird because you just can't see where it is, where that weight
like
is.
you said, whether it's the density of the metal or what.
Like,
but fortunately on these rods, they've got a big sort of excess lug on the small end and the big end.
It's basically for balancing, isn't it, those little lugs.
Yeah. The only difficult thing to balance rods that are far out like that, end for end, is you end up taking, you do the big end and you get those all the same. Then you go to your small end and then you check the overall weight and that'll be different. So then you go back to the big end again and you have to sort of do that about 3 times usually. And what tends to happen is if you've got rods that differ 20 grams, by the time you've finished balancing them, the heaviest one is about 30 grams lighter than it was originally.
So they all end up, 30 grams lighter than the heaviest one.
Yeah, exactly. So on a 4-cylinder, not a problem. Once they're balanced, they're balanced. We obviously do the pistons as well. But if you had that on a V8, you would obviously have to get the whole thing balanced because that's going to be a country mile out.
Yeah.
So yeah, done it all now, mate. Just waiting for those big ends and then we can get the crank in. The only other thing that we'll just say before we go is if you're ever building a motor like this, a Fiat or something like that, and you order at home and you order a set of shells and they turn up, most engines you'll find in the block, the mains will have a groove and holes to feed from the oil gallery.
Yeah.
But on this Fiat, you'll notice in number 5, it's a plain bearing.
Oh, right.
And when you actually open the pack, you're expecting to see 5 grooved bearings and 5 solid bearings.
Yeah.
Solid ones always go in the cap. But on this one, you notice you've got 4 grooved,
cap ones.
you've got 6 plain, and you've got 2 of the planes with holes in. Very confusing.
So you think you got the wrong bearings when it's...
Well, you think that they'd made a mistake packing
Yeah.
them. But actually, what Fiat do in their wisdom, particularly on this engine, is on the thrust journal, which is usually the centre on a lot of stuff. On this one, it's on number 5. On the thrust journal, they'll use a plain bearing on both sides, but with 2 holes in. So they're the same bearing. Reason for that is because it's a load bearing.
There's a lot more load there.
There's a lot more load. So they basically use that. They've got a groove on all the way on the outside and in the cap. And you've got 4 holes feeding the journal, and the oil travels around the back of the bearing.
So the oil comes up through this little groove and basically feeds it all the way around the journal rather than just at the bottom.
Yeah, and you've got these 4 holes at every 90 degrees feeding the crank, and that is sufficient. You might find that, as I say, you might find it will go on the centre one if the centre is the one that holds the thrust, which is more common.
Just on the thrust one.
basically.
Got something like that.
Yeah, so you've just got to be careful and make sure you get all the bearings in the right order.
Yeah.
So there we go, mate. Very interesting, hey?
It is.
But we're going to leave it there. The next video is going to be an interesting one, mate, because I'm going to be taking everyone, hopefully, down to the new unit.
Nice.
So
Get them involved.
See if I can manage to get the chance to go down there. Get permission off the wife. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.